Hello,
Hello.
Jesse.
Hi.
Welcome to the Nordic Data Science and Machine Learning Summit. It's a pleasure. It's an
Thank you.
honor having you today with us. Before we dive into further questions, can you please tell us more about your background and area of expertise?
Okay. My name is Jesse Chao. I work in Ericsson. My background actually is the computer science and also the statistics.
Mm-hmm.
So I have experience in building a cloud services. The infrastructure is a cloud services in Greater
Mm-hmm.
China, and I was a CIO in a conglomerate. A lot of cloud computing, big data things, and now I'm working at Ericsson that responsible for the data center automation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about a lot of use cases to how to automate the data center and how to bring the data center into the next generations. So yeah, that's what I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
today.
Great. So, speaking of which, your presentation today was about the paradigm shift of the enterprise R&D.
Mm.
Uh, and can you please tell us more about the data center platform?
Yes,
Um, and the fully automated data center platform. What is it and
yes.
how does it work?
Okay. So actually today, yeah, there's company we call Super Seven, like Facebook, Google,
Mm-hmm,
Baidu,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
etc. They're very good at these cloud things, big data things. But every country has their own telecom.
Yes,
There are these
great.
providers providing 3G, 4G services to all the mobile users. That's our customer base. So when I joined Ericsson, the target for me is to try to enable these telecom providers to bring up to try to what to say to automate their data center
Mm-hmm,
because they're kind of late behind.
mm-hmm,
Because when you talk about cloud services, you will think about okay, that's Amazon, that's Microsoft, but the AT&T, probably NTT or China Mobile, not really. Why is that? Because it's not their core business. Their core
mm-hmm,
business is the mobile broadband, right? So if you want to step into another area, actually you need much more than you need
mm-hmm,
many like investments. You need the talents. You need a lot of things of that. But a
mm-hmm,
data center actually is not that advanced, so to say, because a data center actually is a cost center,
mm-hmm,
and usually it's not. You don't hire the best people in data center because it's kind of operation. The air condition, the server with racks. You have to swap the hard disk. That's a place that the developer won't get in.
mm-hmm,
But also that's a part kind of left behind of the technology trends because uh, it's not easy to build a cloud. It's not easy to build IoT service. So data center needs help. They need to understand how they could
mm-hmm,
eventually become that efficient, like Google data center. So give you one example. It's like in a typical traditional data center, you need to hire one
mm-hmm,
full-time job people, and that the guy could handle like 200 to 800 servers. But you know what's
mm-hmm.
the number in Google? There's no real number, but in my experience, it's about like 4,000 to 6,000. Somebody say 10,000, but not like about like 4 to 6,000. So it's about 10 times difference. So it means you have to hire 10 times of people doing the
Mm-hmm.
same thing, and that costs you a lot, right? And
Mm-hmm.
also we say the data is kind of growing like this way, and but the data center still look the same. You can build
Mm-hmm.
like 10 times of data center. So how to cope with this trend, how to store this data, the big data, and how to analyze the data, that's all the challenges happen in the telecom provider area. So that's why we need this, because they own most of the data center in the world. They own the tier one, and also they work with the tier two ISP. That's all the area need to something to help them out to say, yeah, that's the way. Then you could possibly have like 10,000 server per FTE full time equivalent. That's something that you want to have to go on with this journey. So the data center automation actually is all the use cases try to bring everything together. and try to tell you the business inside in real time, and to let you know what's the next step you should do or should not do.
Well, my next question actually was about the challenges.
Sure.
You mentioned some of them, but can you tell us more, like,
Yeah.
in order to fully automate this, and what are some of the challenges this data center platform?
Of course, the challenge, the first challenge, of course, is there's different mindset in different personas. So the one who do the administrator stuff in data center, or the guy who owns the data center, and the one who try to co-locate their server in data center to provide like Spotify services, those are different personas. They have different needs. So unfortunately, kind of unfortunately for the administrator part, the most thing they care is the availability. It's the safety. They don't want to things to get risky. They don't want the service down. That's their major priority. But the innovation, no. Doing the cool stuff, no. That's not even in their working list. So for them, actually, that's the biggest challenge, to let them know why you're already left behind and how you could adapt with the new future with some helps. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, Jesse, in your opinion, what can we expect from all of this, let's say in the nearest future, in the next 18 months? Where does it all
Yeah,
lead?
according to my slide deck today, actually, an enterprise needs more time to adapt with this data science things, because most of it may still in the research institute, may be not that quick to realize into a service or product, but that's kind of working gradually. So in the next 18 months, we will see some experiments, the proof of concept, or some test in the data center, in the telecom provider's data center. We will start to doing some different use cases. Like one very interesting use case we call the zombie server detection. Yeah, finding zombies in the data center actually is a very hard work. What does that mean, zombie server? Zombie server means, if you're a developer, you create a lot of machines, virtual machines, and suddenly you're being transformed to another project, or you left company because you don't like your boss. And that virtual machine will stay there almost forever. No one dare to touch that, because for their colleagues, that's not my responsibility. For the administrator, I don't know what's happening inside. I don't dare to touch that. But the machine will occupy the resource, and over time, it will become a security threat. Because everything in there, like think about the Windows. You don't do the Windows update. You don't do antivirus check. So it's like over time, it will become a vulnerable part in your data center, and the hacker will start hacking to that and do the attack to the rest of the machines. But that's in a research, they say already like 6 to 12% data zombie servers lies in every data center. But how can we find that? That's very hard to find that. But so we want to try to leverage the machine learning, try to intimate people's experience, try to think what kind of server might be a zombie server, and help them to find it out and clean that up. So yeah, that's something we will see.
Great, interesting. Jesse, thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you with us today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.